good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are watching this video. Thank you all for all you have done in these past 5 months to help this institution and its students manage one of the great crises in the history of higher education. Unfortunately, even under the most optimistic prognostications concerning effective vaccinations, there are many months to go in which we will have to continue to be flexible and innovative in our pursuit of providing high-quality learning opportunities to our students. In this video, I share ideas, approaches, and practices that I hope you'll find helpful. On May 21st, 2020, the Board of Trustees of Mississippi's Institutions of Higher Learning passed a resolution that required the public universities in the state to offer as many face-to-face classes as possible. Throughout June, we received feedback from departments concerning classes and modalities, and some adjustments were made to the course schedule. At this point, we were around 38% of our semester credit hours being generated through face-to-face course delivery, down from around 47% in the preceding fall. In early July, we learned that we could be even more flexible with the selection of our course modalities, and we began the process of evaluating if additional courses could be moved online. During the first week, we looked at programs, and during the second week, we inquired more specifically about courses. As part of this process, we were able to identify online synchronous courses as a delivery and banner, and that is a tool that is available to us today. As we exist today, we are down to 24% of our credit hour production being generated through face-to-face course delivery. Between field experience, clinical, internship, and hybrid courses, our percentage of seated instructional time should be even lower than that. We were also able to reduce the overall number of face-to-face course sections from 328 to 228, a 30% reduction. I would like to thank everyone for being a part of the effort to de-densify our campus. It will do a great deal to enhance our physical distancing protocols. Speaking of physical distancing, our COVID-19 response coordinator, Jason Trufant, along with deans and department chairs, have made multiple walkthroughs of our buildings. These walkthroughs have focused largely on directing traffic through our buildings, as well as placing movable desks 6 feet apart, or in the case of fixed desk classrooms, marking those desks in which students could not sit. Faculty members must wear masks or face shields in these classrooms. Faculty members in masks should be mindful to keep 6 feet between them and the nearest students. If the faculty member is in a face shield, they should be mindful to keep at least 10 feet of distance between them and the nearest students. In those studio, lab, or performance situations, there may be very brief periods of time in which faculty members may need to cross these thresholds to demonstrate a key concept or to point at something. These time periods should be kept as brief as humanly possible, just a few moments, in order to prevent the accumulation of viral load in you and the student. In these instances, masks should be paired with shields for additional protection. Students are required to wear masks in the classroom and to do so properly, meaning that the mask should cover both the mouth and the nose. Bandanas and neck gaiters are also acceptable. Through the Student Success Center, students may receive accommodation to participate in courses remotely or through alternate means, but may not attend classes in person without properly wearing a mask or appropriate face covering. A popular question throughout the summer of the Campus Renewal Task Force has been regarding what to do if a student fails to comply with this requirement in the classroom. While such incidents should be rare or hopefully non-existent, a little preparation now could save unnecessary escalation later. After extensive discussion and review of other institutions' policies, the Campus Renewal Task Force believes the best course of action is as follows. A student not wearing a mask should politely and very kindly be asked to put on their mask or be provided a disposable one should they have forgotten their mask. This would best be handled at entry and perhaps with a positive reaffirming comment such as "let's mask up for safety." If the student refuses to comply with the request, they should be asked to leave the class and the building. If the student were to sit down and refuse to comply with the request to leave the class and the building, the class should be very calmly dismissed. The dismissal may be temporary while they discuss the matter with the student and reconvene afterward, or they may ask the class to not return and tell them that the content will be provided remotely or through some alternate means. Refusal of a student to wear a mask in the classroom or follow any other safety guidelines will result in disciplinary action up to and including educational sanctions and/or removal from campus in accordance with the student conduct process. If faculty detects imminent danger from student behavior, university police should be called. The faculty member is required to make a behavioral intervention team report by clicking File Report at the bottom of the homepage and selecting the option to file a report concerning a student's behavior. One of the key differences between this semester and other semesters will be class attendance. Because COVID-19 manifests itself across a spectrum of severity of symptoms ranging from asymptomatic to very mild to more severe, it is absolutely essential that students with symptoms of any kind be encouraged to not attend face-to-face courses. To this effect, the following syllabus statement was passed by Academic Council and is available on the Cossin Center for Teaching and Learning website. Because these symptoms are also often associated with other illnesses, such as seasonal allergies, we will have students missing classes with illnesses that they may have traditionally attempted to attend class with in the past. When you combine this fact with the fact that a student may face other COVID-19 disruptions or may at some point be identified as a close contact, leading to an extended absence from your class, absenteeism is undoubtedly going to be significantly higher than in a normal semester. Quite frankly, it will be nearly impossible to implement an attendance policy in your course. As a result, it is imperative that you plan for maximum flexibility in allowing students to participate in courses, including streaming or recording lectures, or identifying alternate ways for students to learn should they miss class. Academic Council also passed a syllabus statement to ensure students understand that face-to-face classes could be converted to online delivery at a moment's notice. Academic Council also passed a syllabus statement for synchronous online courses to ensure that students know that they are expected to be available online at the time specified on their banner course schedule. However, they are reminded to not venture to campus or other public spaces should that be their means of accessing a computer or internet if they are not feeling well or exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19. And finally, Academic Council has also passed a syllabus statement for asynchronous online courses to remind students to not venture to campus or other public spaces should that be their means of accessing a computer or internet if they are not feeling well or exhibiting symptoms related to COVID-19. As we have discussed, it is likely that we will have a higher than normal level of absenteeism in our classes this fall. The more we can make students feel comfortable missing class by replicating the classroom experience, the more likely that they will be to do so when experiencing symptoms or not feeling well. To this effect, we have invested in a number of solutions to facilitate the recording or streaming of content from your courses. We already had a number of classrooms with existing recording capability, but we have also installed 17 fixed classroom solutions for capturing lectures, and also bought mobile carts as requests were made to the Academic Continuity Working Group earlier this summer. If you need a temporary mobile solution, a more permanent fixed recording solution, or wish to explore the possibility of teaching from a classroom with fixed recording technology already installed, please let your dean know. Based on requests made earlier this summer, a number of technologies have been ordered to address individual departmental needs. As you teach your courses this fall, we would like you to consider the following approaches and practices within your classrooms. When you dismiss class, please do so one row at a time so that students do not pile up at the doors. Please end your classes promptly and ensure that all students leave the classroom. Please try to send and accept as much of your course material through our Canvas learning management system as possible so that we can limit the number of hard paper transactions between you and our students. The Student Success Center will offer regular proctoring services remotely using Respondus Monitor. There is no additional cost to students with this change to remote proctoring. In-person proctoring will only be available to students receiving accommodations, as space is limited in the ADA testing area. Additionally, proctoring services will not be available for community members or non-MUW students. Please be prepared to transition delivery methods at a moment's notice. We have no way to know the direction of this public health situation, and we don't know which direction it will go. But it is possible that we may need to transition to online and remote learning for an indeterminate period of time at some point during the semester. You also may want to consider trying to achieve key student learning outcomes that are best met in the face-to-face environment earlier in the semester in case a transition does take place. Faculty office hours, advising, and any out-of-class meetings are to be conducted virtually when physical distancing cannot be achieved. To aid in the contact tracing process, your students will need to have assigned seats, and a seating chart will need to be put on file in your dean's office. And was the case with the spring semester, our students may be completing classes and modalities that they do not prefer or may not have signed up for in a traditional semester. They may be experiencing economic and childcare disruptions, sharing computing and internet resources with siblings or other family members, and generally experiencing the same stressors that so many across our community and so many across the world are experiencing. I know that we can continue to find solutions to deliver the same high-quality student learning outcomes while meeting them where they are and facing the challenges that they face. Utilizing the best practices identified by the Mississippi Department of Health, MUW will conduct contact tracing out of the Campus Health Center. Upon learning of positive cases on our campus, our contact tracer case manager will reach out to the individual and ask them a series of scripted questions. As part of this process, we will ask them to identify all of those individuals that may have been close contacts using the following definition. This definition is: you spend a prolonged period of time with the individual for 15 or more minutes while less than 6 feet apart. We will also use the Mississippi Department of Health recommendation of quarantine period of 14 days, although many agencies and organizations are now using the lower standard of 10. Because of the personalized attention that we provide to our students, it is possible that at some point during this semester that you may be the first or among the first to learn that a student or a member of the MUW community has a confirmed positive test for COVID-19 or believes that they may have been exposed. Please familiarize yourself with the following flowchart. Note that the end of all three potential branches of the flowchart end with the individual reaching out to the Campus Health Center. If you are directly aware that there is a positive case of COVID-19 on campus, i.e., the student informs you that the student tested positive for COVID-19, refer them to the protocol and direct them to inform the campus health center. For privacy reasons, you are not to share health-related information with anyone else on campus. The health center will take the information and then initiate their contact tracing protocols. Be advised that the campus health center cannot share information with you. Remember, an individual's health record is private, protected information. It is imperative that we remember that a student or individual's status cannot be shared with anyone other than the campus health center. Again, thank you for the last 5 months. It has no doubt been trying, but together we have pulled through it. I know that the next semester will be trying as well, but together we'll get through this too. Thank you all again.